Hello friends, so today I'd like to tell you a little story. I'd like to share what I learned and I'd like to ask you a question. So it might seem like it's about going for a walk, it's not really, it's about training the ego. So when I go out walking, sometimes what I do is I play a game of, every time I come to the junction, I connect with the energy and I just say left, right or straight. And I can get a sense of which way the inner being would say to go. Now, I know that this probably appears really inconsequential, but believe me, it's better to train the ego to walk the tightrope 1 centimetre off the ground than 1 metre off the ground, because when the stakes are higher, there's just too much chat going on. So what I noticed as I was walking today was, no matter what the inner being chose, the ego straight away went into, okay, what does that mean and what's the route and how long are we going to be out and how far are we going to go and what does this mean? Wow. And just to see it so clearly about how the ego was doing everything it could to get out of the present moment. And as I continued the walk, I then, literally the ego, the inner being can take me on any number of routes. And it made a choice today that it hadn't made before, and the ego was like, okay, what does this mean? And it was amazing to see how quickly I developed the sensations of a sore ankle and a sore knee. And it made me chuckle, because I know for me that the ego often speaks to me through the physical sensations of the body. And so what began was this wonderful conversation, although I might have looked like a little bit strange walking down the road talking to myself, but hey, who cares? And I was just really reassuring the ego and saying, look, it's fine, you can trust the inner being. You can absolutely trust the inner being. The inner being isn't going to make you do something that you don't want to do. This is about including you. This is about taking your point of view on board. It's okay, and I hear you, and thank you for expressing how you're feeling, and can you please turn the sensations down in the body? And what do you know? It did, because it felt heard. And then as I was walking, as it looked to me to come back home, what I noticed then again was the ego saying, oh right, we're going to be going home. This is the turn for going home. And again, I was like, okay, come back. And I just kept saying this step, this step, this step, this step. But you know what really occurred to me was, okay, this all seems like a bit of a silly story really, but actually how often the ego does that throughout the day. You make a choice and it tries to work out the rest of the plan. You open the bottle of wine and it's like, how much am I going to get? You have a crisp and it's like, can I eat the whole packet? You have a conversation with somebody that you like and you're like, oh, maybe we'll get married. It's like, you have a fight with somebody, you're like, I hate them, I don't want them in my life. And it's all the ego and how it's utterly exhausting. And so my question for you is, can you see where in your life the ego is really controlling, but in a really insidious way, where it's trying to get somewhere, where it's decided that it should be a particular way? What would happen if you could really allow the ego, help the ego to be able to trust the inner being in this moment, to allow it to come into this moment, to experience this moment without having to worry about the next moment and the next moment and all its projected and fantasy nightmares? I wonder what that would open up. And you know, what if it opens up more ease, more feeling relaxed? I don't have to have a crazy ass to-do list. What's possible, I wonder, if you were to begin to get more clear and to see where the ego is looking to run the show, where the 3-year-old is looking to drive the bus. And a 3-year-old driving the bus, it's never going to work out well for anybody. Until next time, guys.